So this week, I was referred by a friend to a company in New Jersey. They were, I was kind of, the setup to this was they were interested in talking with me or something like that. I'm not exactly sure how the referral came together or if that was actually the case. But when I was finally connected with the people, or a business developer and partner at the company, the way I interpreted the message that I received from them, because I originally thought they wanted to talk on the phone, have a conversation, and then it ended up just being an email. But it was described to me like they were looking for an employee or a contractor to do two specific types of work. Now, the types of work really are irrelevant. This is more about how the gig economy is evolving and how it's people on both sides of the equation. People looking for work and the people looking to hire talent are missing something here. But they were looking for somebody that had advanced PHP skills, it's a programming language, and also advanced custom formed fields experience as well, a WordPress specific type of program. It's a plugin that runs with WordPress and allows you to do some advanced things with data within a WordPress website. So my initial reaction when I received this was, oh yeah, if you talked to me 2 or 3 years ago, I would have fit the bill. I had those skills. I'd worked with those skills recently, keyword recently, and I could definitely take on a job like that. But if I'm being honest today, 2 or 3 years after that point in time, I would classify myself more as an intermediate, because here's what happens. A lot of times in the gig economy, we work on a lot of different projects, and that work takes us from one thing to the next to the next. We often don't work like a factory worker might have in the past. If you'd asked a factory worker at GM if they had the ability to install a carburetor on a particular type of car, they might say, yeah, I'm expert at that. I install 50 of those a day, and I've been installing 50 of those a day for the last 5 years. So I not only know, this model, but last year's model, the model before that, the model before that, and the model before that, and before that, I did something in, air filters or something like that before that, and I was expert at that. But we don't work that way anymore these days. Each gig that comes along in the gig economy, we solve the problems that are needed for that particular item, and we might become expert while we're solving that problem, and then we move on to the next thing. And so asking someone if they're an expert in it today kind of misses the whole point, because I do not consider myself an expert today. I could probably become an expert again within a week or two, rebuilding the skills, figuring out where some of the improvements have been made in that particular system since it was made, because this is an evolving language, PHP, and it's an evolving system, the advanced custom fields, and sits on another evolving system, WordPress, which sits on, databases that are improving and all the time as well. It's nothing is static. And so to claim to be an expert, you might be. There are a few people that work with those things every single day, but not everybody. And a lot of us are out there solving all sorts of different problems, and those skill sets that we learn solving those problems take us through many different scenarios, enabling us to better solve the next problem that comes along. So I feel like companies need to get out of the habit of trying to hire a just-in-time expert that's only done one thing over and over and over again, and move into the realm of dialing in the right person to meet them at the point they need them. Because it's one part of ramping people up and ramping into projects, as opposed to getting the right person just at the last minute when you really need them the most, and nobody's available because you didn't ramp your project into meeting somebody that was also ramping into being able to solve your problems or run with the thing that you've got. So just something that's kind of been sticking with me. I feel like I personally kind of fumbled that introduction because it just didn't feel right when I received there were several things and gut instincts that didn't feel right in that particular conversation. and the conversation seemed to go nowhere, partly because the setup of it just didn't feel right. And I've had a day or two to reflect on it, and that's what this is, kind of sharing my epiphany, and I'm hopeful that this will help me not fumble future communications. But I'm sharing this also because it's not just my side of it as the potential talent that might be able to help people, but it's also we all have to learn how to bridge these gaps and communicate better what we need and telegraph some of that as well, so that we can plan and coordinate to reach the same point as someone else, so that we can work together. Two ships in the night, passing in the night, doesn't necessarily equate success. But if we can take our courses that are somewhat tangent and alter them a bit so that they're parallel, then maybe we can achieve some good things together. Anyway, that's my morning reflection. I'm sitting up here on the top of Crowder's Mountain, overlooking Charlotte, and do this about once every other week or so in the mornings to dodge traffic, and it's a beautiful way to do that. And I hope you are getting ready to finish off a terrific week too.